Welcome back, everybody. It's Joey again. You're watching VegasDtech, and we're back with another Tech Talk Tuesday. I have been trying to get out here for at least the last 3 or 4 days, but it has been nothing but rain, and more rain out here in Las Vegas. But I couldn't afford to skip out on another day, or else I wouldn't have been able to make this window. But today, guys, I got another e-bike review for you, and many of you folks have expressed to me a concern that you have with these bikes. You wanted something affordable, transportable, and then there was one other issue you guys had, and that issue was you were having range anxiety. Range anxiety means that you get excited, you end up going out far, and then you look at your bar meter and it says that you are running out of juice, and you wonder, is it time to turn around and bring this thing home? But today, guys, I've got a bike that you will never have range anxiety problems again, because this bike is rated at 130 miles. Let's take a look at it. It's the T7 by G-Force e-bikes. Now guys, this bike right here is primarily made for the individual that wants to go riding long distances and don't want to ever have to worry about batteries. This battery here weighs 27 pounds. It is the equivalent of 3 standard size batteries. The website claims that you can actually go either 80 miles on just throttle alone. If used combined with throttle and pedal assistance, can get between 110 to 130 miles per charge, or you can get 80 miles with throttle alone. But before we actually get into specs and performance, let's go ahead and see what it looked like coming out of the box and how it was built. Alrighty guys, so here it is, the G-Force T7. It's a 120-pound package. FedEx just delivered it. The last folding e-bike that I put together didn't require any assembly whatsoever. It was just a matter of pulling it out of the box, unfolding it, and taking off all the packing. So let's get in here and see what's inside and see if it's the same thing. Alrighty guys, well that's basically it. It's all together. I won't lie, there's more pieces to this than on my other folding bike that I put together. This one here, you had to build the stem. The stem wasn't assembled, so I had to figure out how to tighten that thing down. But everything else came together relatively quick. This is a solid, I could see why this thing was so heavy in that box, man. There is nothing cheap about this build quality on this bike. It is just solid frame, big bulky tires, and this battery right here, guys, this battery weighs probably 30 pounds by itself. I can't believe it. Inside this frame right here is hollow, and for the standard size battery, it looks like they had a standard size battery that can go inside the frame, so this is empty, and the extended range battery goes right here. And like I said, that's 30 pounds right there. But anyways, yeah, that's it. I'm just going to go ahead and go over this here and do a quick quality on it. Make sure all of the brake components are working. Check the axle bolts on it. Try to figure out this locking mechanism on the seat. And yeah, that's it. So the next time we get together, we'll be out looking at all the specs, and then we'll give it a test run and see what it can do. I'll see you guys then. Alrighty guys, so starting off with the specs, before we can do anything, the first thing that's gonna grab your eyes is that massive battery right there. That massive battery right there, guys, is a 48 volt, 60 amp hour battery. Guys, I have heard of batteries being 10 amp, 14 amp, and 24 amp, but I have never seen a battery with 60 amp hours. This battery is humongous, guys. It looks like the flux capacitor from Back to the Future, and it's the equivalent of 3 batteries. If you were to actually slice this battery into 3, you could put 3 of them inside this. This tube is empty. Normally, this battery would go inside this tube. We don't have anything in there. It's all here, and it's all for long range. Taking a look at the motor, we're looking at an actual branded G-Force 750 watt hub mounted motor, which has a peak rating of 1300 watts. So 750 watts is going to be the nominal power going to this motor when you're cruising on, say, flat ground. But when you need to have extra power to climb a hill or to go up ramps, bridges, and so forth, the speed controller can push 1300 to give you that little burst of power for short periods of time. So looking at the transmission, guys, we have a 7-sprocket Shimano cassette geared up to a Torney derailleur system that runs up to a 42-tooth front sprocket. The website states that this motor has 86 Newton meters of torque and can climb up to a 30-degree incline. And again, guys, if you didn't catch it, this bike is also stated to go between 110 to 130 miles with pedal assist, or 80 to 100 miles with throttle assist only. Looking at the tires here, guys, we have a 20-inch by 4-inch wide Kenda branded tires. Hydraulic brakes. These hydraulic brakes are actually made by a company called Ron Glunn, and that runs all the way down to the calipers that are also a Ron Glunn branded caliper. And these guys are the best brakes I have felt so far. Many of the other brakes make all kinds of noises, man, scrape sounds and squeals. I have not had any noises with any of these brakes so far. It has just been absolutely quiet. No squeals, no grinds, no clunks, none of that. Ron Glunn. I don't know anything about that brand name, but I can tell you, for me, it has been an absolute winner so far. And also, when we speak about the rotors, guys, this rotor in the back is a 180 millimeter rotor paired to a 160 millimeter rotor up front. I don't know why they didn't put 180 for the front and back, or if they were going to put a 180, normally you would put the bigger one in the front and the smaller one in the back, but nevertheless, that's how it comes, guys. This bike has been clocked at 28 miles an hour. I've actually got it through a combined pedal assist and throttle to go up to 32 miles an hour. It also has a carrying capacity of 400 total pounds. The actual tires say each tire is rated for 198. So 198 and 198, 400 pounds. And last but not least, guys, this bike is a foldable bike. When I was putting this bike together, the box that it came in had it written with a magic marker, and it said 53 kilos, which I believe runs out to like 117. I'm just gonna put this bike with that battery at about 120 pounds. I like these grips here, guys. They're comfortable, they're really grippy, but also these locks right here are awesome because it keeps it from slipping. All the other bikes that I have right now, every time I ride, the grips start to slowly move, and then this thing starts to slowly work its way down, and you gotta grip it and peel its way back, but these locks prevent it from happening. It also comes with a 7-speed index thumb shifter made by Shimano. Moving over to the left here, it has a thumb throttle. Normally it's a half throttle on this side. The G-Force here comes with a thumb throttle on this side. To turn the actual control on, you're going to hold this button, controller will come on up top, and you're going to have your light down here on the bottom. When you hit this button, the light should come on. It does. And it also has a rear tail light. It does. And I believe the tail light is brakes included. Back up to the controls, it does have a horn, a very loud horn too. Yes, it sounds like a police officer. Okay, and you're gonna shift your power assist buttons up and down here, which when you tap up and down, you'll have your display show that. All right, so looking at this thing right here, you're going to see, try to get you a better angle. You're gonna have your power meter up top, your light meter right there, miles per hour is in here, your pedal assist levels here, and your odometer. And you could switch through these parameters by just tapping this button and just flip through the different types of trip meters and your current setting. It'll tell you the amount of current that's being pulled out of the battery as you're riding along. All right, so let me go ahead and show you how this bike folds up. All right, it's a pretty heavy bike, so it's not as easy to fold up as some of the other ones just simply because of the weight, but nevertheless, it can be folded. So we're gonna go ahead and come up top here, bring this thing down. Handlebar will come down. And then you're gonna unlock it. There's a thumb lock here. You'll break this thing apart. And then I put my knee in the center, crack it, bring it on back. And that's about the extent of it. And put it all back together. You see that? Storms coming in. I better get the heck out of here before this thing downpours on me. And to put it back together, guys, we'll grab the handle, pull it apart, grab it by the center, bring it back around, lock that in place, thumb lock, bring the handlebar back up, lock it together, and there you go. All right, guys, so I have the bike set up to do our speed run and brake test and hill climb. But before we do that, I want to set the suspension on it because it feels a little bouncy. And I'm going to show you the suspension settings on this bike because we have actual adjustments front and rear. So on the rear here, guys, you're going to have these springs like this. And all you do is you dial them in like this. You tighten them up by tightening them this way, or loosen them or tighten them. I'm going to tighten mine down because I was feeling a little bit of clacking sounds on it. And you got one on this side, same thing. Tighten it down. By doing this here, guys, I compress the spring and make it tighter. And I can pretty much feel that that's about right. It's about right for me. And in the front, my preload is already set. If you need to set your preload, you can dial it in here for your weight. And then over here in the front, you have your lockout. Right now, it's wide open. I'm just going to go ahead and lock it out. I just want it to be firm. So it's locked, so I shouldn't get a whole bunch of bounce. And we're ready to go on our high-speed run with the Insta360 camera giving you the full shot moving forward. So let's go. All right, guys, so we're in pedal assist number 1. We're gonna go ahead and make this run all the way down to the Green Valley Ranch Casino on the back path. Nobody comes out here, so you could really you could really open this up and go as fast as you need to. I gotta watch it back here because it rained here just last night. You could just see all the gravel and stuff that came out across the ground, so a little bit more treacherous today. So we're heading on an uphill climb right now, and you can see the gauge 29, 30 miles an hour on 31 on an average climb. Wow, bro, we hit a humongous bump, and with that front suspension locked out, the handlebars jumped right into my chest. Be careful with that, guys. I wasn't used to that. Normally I run with the suspension on open, and I locked it out to where it's hard right now, and the whole front end came shooting right up onto my chest. So anyways, here guys, we got I believe this is an 8 degree climb. 32, 31, 29, 28 on an 8 degree climb coming across the bridge. And I'm throttle only, throttle only. Coming down the backside, we're hitting 35, 36, 36. I'm not even on the throttle at all, guys. It's just coasting at 36. Bike has some good freewheel, 34. And we're actually on cruise control right now. See my thumb? This is the throttle right here. I'm not even on it. It's just set on cruise control. So yeah, it's holding 31 miles an hour with cruise control, 32 miles an hour with the cruise control going. 32.8, not pedaling at all. 33, and we're coming up behind the Green Valley Ranch Casino. Look at that, on cruise control, guys. This is beautiful. Big hill coming down the backside. I'm surprised these tires don't make a whole bunch of noise. These tires are actually kind of quiet for those stubby 4-inch wide wheels. Yeah, there it is, still holding 33 miles an hour with the cruise control. To kill the cruise control, you just hit your brakes. It automatically cancels your cruise control, and then we'll start dropping power. And then we're right over here at the freeway entrance. It's a nice little shot, Green Valley Ranch Casino. And we're gonna go ahead and do our speed run back. And here it is again, guys, 8% or 8 degree climb up the back side of the bridge. We're dropping down 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. 24, 24, 23, 24, coming up the back hill. And cruise control is on, and we're coming down the back hillside, hitting 33, 36. Like I said, guys, I don't have my hands on any throttle. We got 33, 32. And this is the kind of cruising power you can expect out of the T7. 34, hands-free. No pedaling. Yeah, this bike can maintain 32 miles an hour. Easy, no problem. 32, 33, easy. And the brakes, guys, I'm hitting both brakes right now, no noise at all. Boom. That's what I love about this bike. It has the best brakes of any of the bikes that I have reviewed so far. And once again, I feel more rain. I've been trying to avoid this rain all day, man. Alrighty, guys. We're here for the hill climb. Okay, so basically this is telling me that this is an 8-degree incline, okay? What that goes to in percentages, I believe it's 14 or 15%, but it's 8 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and start from a dead stop, and we're gonna just give it straight throttle power, and let's go. And see what we got here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 miles an hour, 12.9. Coming up this side. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, about 13 miles an hour, coming up an 8-degree climb. And then coming down the 8-degree grade here, we'll test the brakes down here at the end. See what we got. Nice. We do have a fair amount of skid. It almost feels like ABS when it locks up. We'll try it again down here. Yes. Brakes are excellent. Ron Glunn, dude. Ron Glunn brakes, guys. I don't know what's going on with it, but it is definitely a brand that I am liking very, very much. If I have to convert from mechanical to hydraulic, if I can buy some Ron Glunn brakes, hydraulic brakes, I'm gonna purchase those sets. I don't know if it's available or anything, but if I can get it, I'm definitely gonna buy it. Alrighty, guys, so there you have it. My look and my review on the G-Force T7. I've had fun with this bike. So far, I have not reviewed a bike of this caliber, of this build quality. And at first I was intimidated by it, especially when I seen this battery, and I was like, my God, man, what am I gonna do with a battery this big? You know what I mean? I'm gonna actually show you guys how this battery looks. I'm gonna pull it out for you. You can have a look for yourself. So the only way that you can pull this battery out is you're gonna have to remove the seat. You really don't have a need to pull the battery out. You know what I mean? I mean, you could just charge it from within here. You don't need to pull the battery out, but if you do, there's a key right here. You'll put it into the backside. It'll unlock it from the rail, and just out it comes. But here, have a look at that. That's it right there, guys. Once you pull the battery out, the bike returns to its regular standard weight. It's about 6 inches longer because this rack is like 28 inches. Normally they're like 17, but you got to make up for the space here for the battery. So you got a 28-inch back rack, but that's really good anyways, because then I could put my back bag here, which I always want. The charger is going to be on this side right here, the little port that you plug in. It's going to be a 3-pin charger, goes in over here, and then you'll plug in like your big computer cable connector in the back. Okay, and then there's a rail here. You're going to line this thing up on the rail, and once it's on the rail, you'll just let it down. It seats itself. Then you'll lock it. When you lock it, there's a bolt that goes through and locks it into where it just can't just come out by accident. Then you just take your battery connector, plug it into the back, and you're done. And then, of course, grab your seat. Reinstall that to where it was before. That looks about right. Lock it in place, and there you have it. All right, guys, so for pros and cons, for pros on this bike, it's just the overall build quality of it, guys. It is heavy duty quality. you know, constructed well. There's no cheap welds on it. All the welds are just heavy duty welds. This is as thick as one of those railroad rails. Number two, guys, is just the speed. A lot of people struggle just to get 28 miles an hour, but I'm easily able to get 28 to 35 on it on a straightaway. And the cruise control, when I hold the button down for more than 5 to 8 seconds, I let off on it, it's in cruise control. You don't have to keep holding that throttle down anymore. The bike will continue to cruise for long ranges. I've got 25 miles on this since I recharged it, and not even one bar has come down off of that bar meter. Not even one pallet has been removed yet. And that's impressive, because most of the bikes right now, if I were to use 25 miles on a 48 volt, 12 amp battery, I would be maybe right around a third down to half of the battery percentage down. But with this bike, I haven't even used one pallet of it yet. The second pro I like on these is the hydraulic brake system. This is probably the best hydraulic brake system that I've tested yet. And like I said, I don't know who Ron Glunn is, but it has just been absolutely quiet, durable, and quality. Love it, guys. I really, really do love it. The Ron Glunn brake system. Number three, it's actually pretty comfortable. The configurability of this bike makes it adaptable, you know, to where how I want to ride. If I want to cruise or if I want to actually crank, I can adjust that. So I do like the configuration. And the third pro I like on it is I just like the controls on here. Now, I never thought that I would actually enjoy a thumb drive, but I actually enjoy it. Controls are wonderful. So I think the ease and usability of the control panel up here, that's like number three for me. Now, as far as the cons, what cons do I have on it? Guys, you know, I don't really know if it's a con, but for me, I wish I had the opportunity of this battery, not having to take this battery all the time. Could they configure it to where you didn't have to bring this battery all the time? Could you just have one small cell inside here and keep one big one? I guess I could always just buy a smaller cell, slide it in there and leave that at home. The number two would be the rotors. They have a staggered set of rotors here. They got a 160 millimeter up front and a 180 in the back. I don't know why. I've never seen a staggered set. It's normally either 160 or 180. I don't know why the staggered set, but generally speaking, we all know coming from motorcycles that the majority of your braking power comes in the front. When you're moving and you hit the brakes, all of your weight wants to shove to the front. So what's going to happen is as you nail the brakes, the back is going to lock up and just skid. The front of your bike has all the stopping power. Thus, the 180 rotor should be in the front and the 160 should be in the back. That might be something that G-Force might want to look into. That's an easy swap. You can unbolt it and do it yourself if you wanted to. Other than that, maybe a little bit bolstier of a seat. You know, I'm starting to get some chafe marks on these seats right here. I like the wear on it. I don't know why, but I'm just starting to get this little chafe mark, and I've only had it a week. I don't know what it is, just from, you know, pedaling and pedaling, your pants are kind of rubbing this thing away. Maybe a more bolstered seat. But guys, I have nothing else to say bad about the bike. There's nothing bad to say about it. It's been a wonderful bike. It went from being a bike that I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I didn't know how I was going to use it, because I've always had the smaller, lighter bikes that were around 72 pounds. And yes, this is a 120-pound bike. But guys, when I take it with me, I never have to worry about how far I got to go or where I'm going to go. It's going to take me there fast. It's going to take me as far, and it's just not going to fail me. I mean, it's just durable, rugged, and the quality is there. So who do I recommend this bike for? I recommend it for anybody who's traveling that wants a foldable bike. That's another one too. That's another one. I got to add that in there. I don't know why. I don't even know why I forgot it. Yeah, I forgot one more thing. So if there's 4 things that I like about a bike, it's going to be that it's foldable. So I recommend this for anybody that wants portability, long range, durable, and awesome build quality. So if you guys are looking for a bike in the $2,000 price range, this is what I recommend for you. And folks, that's everything I have for you right now. I've got a big rainbow going on back behind me. I don't know if the camera can catch it. It's starting to rain again. I don't know what has been going on out here in Las Vegas. I've got this beautiful sunset behind me, but I just keep getting rain. just keep getting rained on. You know what I mean? I've been working on this review for the past 3 days, on and off, ducking in and out of the rain. But anyways, guys, it's been fun making this review. Thank you, G-Force, for sending this bike out to me to review. And guys, if you're looking for a bike, if you like this bike here, a link to this website is down in the description if you want to pick one up for yourself. If, however, this is not the bike for you, stay tuned next week and I'll have another review. Maybe we'll find something that does fit your fancy. So until then, guys, thank you so much again for coming out with me. This is Joey. You're watching VegasDtech. I will catch you guys on the very next video. You guys be well now. Bye.